They won't even know why they're thinking about you, but they will, over and over, like a song stuck in their bloodstream. Their decisions start to tilt, their emotions bend, their identity, yours to sculpt. You haven't just entered their mind, you've colonized it. We're not talking about love. We're not talking about lust. We're talking about obsession, the psychological virus with no vaccine. Machiavelli never used the word obsession, but everything he wrote whispered it. He said men are driven by love and fear, but he left something out, something deeper, something darker. Obsession doesn't knock politely. It kicks the door in and rewires the furniture. It's not about attraction, it's about control. When someone's obsessed with you, they don't just like you. They restructure their entire nervous system around your presence. They breathe in your patterns. They adjust their voice, posture, thoughts, all calibrated toward the one person they can't figure out, you. And yes, this can be engineered, not through manipulation, but through precision. Machiavelli didn't control kings by offering affection. He controlled kings by controlling timing, mystery, and meaning. And this is how you make someone obsessed, without ever asking for it. Here's how it works. Obsession doesn't start with what you give. It starts with what you withhold. Show up too much and you become background noise. Give too freely and you breed comfort. But comfort kills curiosity. Obsession lives in uncertainty. It needs confusion like fire needs oxygen. So what do? You starve them, emotionally. You don't suffocate with attention. You create absence so sharp it leaves paper cuts. You become the one thing the brain can't solve. A glitch, a loop, a presence with no pattern. Answer a message 1 hour too late. Let your silences hang longer than what feels polite. Pull away the moment they lean in. Leave conversations unfinished with phrases that dangle like unsolved riddles. Let them ask themselves, was that flirtation or strategy? Do they like me or tolerate me? The brain hates open loops. It will spin and spin to close them. And that's when obsession begins. Once you've unsettled them, once you've become an unanswered question in their mind, you give them glimpses, not clarity, not transparency, fragments. This is what Machiavelli did best. Strategic reflection. You mirror their desires, but slightly distorted, slightly delayed. You let them see pieces of what they want in you, but never enough to feel whole. They want ambition, you reveal a glimpse of ruthless focus. They crave intimacy, you flash vulnerability, then bury it under calm detachment. Now you've become a mystery layered in relevance. They don't just want to know you. They want to complete you, and they can't. Because every time they think they figured you out, you pivot, praise them one day, challenge them the next, get close, then vanish. Say something intimate, then follow it with distance. This isn't playing games. This is training their brain, using one of the most powerful psychological techniques ever discovered, intermittent reinforcement. It's the reason gamblers stay at the slot machine. It's not consistent reward that drives them, it's uncertainty. Randomized pleasure is 10x more addictive than constant approval. You're not offering love, you're offering hope. And hope, when weaponized, is more dangerous than any drug. Now that their nervous system is wired to your rhythm, it's time to go deeper. Here's the truth most won't admit. People walk around wounded, quietly rejected, forgotten, not enough. They carry scars that no one sees. You don't create these wounds. You recognize them. You speak to the hidden fracture in their soul, not to heal it, but to touch it without judgment. You become the one person who doesn't flinch, and that feels like safety. Now you're not just someone they like, you're the only one who understands. Suddenly, you're not a person, you're a solution. And once someone believes that you are the solution to a pain they've never explained aloud, They can't walk away, even if they want to. But here's the twist. The moment you ask for obsession, you kill it. You can't demand loyalty. You have to become someone who makes it feel like a privilege to be near you. Let your absence scream louder than your presence. Let your indifference burn hotter than attention. Let your unpredictability become the map they can never finish drawing. Machiavelli never begged for power. He became so elusive, so impossible to decode, that people gave it to him, just to keep him close. You must become the person they never fully understand. Once they understand you, they stop chasing you. Obsession doesn't chase answers. It chases questions. You are no longer a solid identity. You are a moving target. One day warmth, the next cold steel, praise, then distance, desire, then disinterest. You are the paradox they keep trying to solve, and they never will. They'll ask themselves, did I do something wrong? Did I lose their interest? That's when the real addiction begins. Not to you, but to who they are in your eyes. You don't owe consistency, you owe a maze. And they'll stay in it forever if you never give them a map. Want to control someone without ever touching them? Control when you appear. Leave a conversation just as it peaks. Send a message that makes them feel seen. Then vanish. Exit while the emotional energy is highest, not when it fades. This is not cruelty. This is timing. You create a void so precise it echoes. And inside that echo, they start to panic. Their brain asks questions their heart can't answer. You've now entered their mental real estate, rent-free. Mirroring is one of the most misunderstood techniques in seduction. It's not about copying behavior. That's basic. You don't mimic gestures. You reflect the unspoken parts of their soul, their deepest fears, unspoken wants, unlabeled desires. You say what they've always felt but never had the words for. You notice what they hope no one would. You see through their disguise, and they feel more naked with you than when they're alone. But here's the move. You reflect them, slightly wrong, just off enough that they feel misunderstood, and they need to correct you. So they keep talking, explaining, chasing. They're not trying to be heard. They're trying to be known. And you've become the judge of whether they're worth understanding. Obsession isn't about giving someone what they want. It's about making them work to get it, and then making them question if they ever really had it. Rarity fuels value. Nothing common is craved. Nothing easy is respected. You want obsession? Make yourself rare. Your time, never freely available. Your mind, never fully readable. Your approval, always earned, never granted casually. They should have to fight for every piece of you. And once they've earned it, they'll guard it like sacred treasure. You don't give obsession with affection. You give it with removal. Right when they feel close, step back. Right when they believe you're open, shut the door halfway. Right when comfort sets in, shake the floor. Your absence shouldn't feel cruel. It should feel confusing. So they're not mad at you. They're mad at themselves. They don't say, I hate them. They say, did I mess this up? And now obsession has shifted from you to their own self-perception. This is where you carve your initials in their mind. Every powerful figure in history had a signature, a scent, a phrase, a look. You do the same. Use a phrase no one else uses. Say their name a certain way. Look at them with intensity, then break eye contact mid-sentence. These small, repeatable behaviors plant emotional anchors. Now they associate that gesture with meaning. Soon they'll hear your voice in their thoughts. They'll smell your memory in someone else's cologne. You've become more than a person. You've become a presence. Obsession blooms when someone sees themselves in you. You aren't just a separate being anymore. You are part of their identity. Machiavelli didn't just influence people. He embedded himself into their self-worth. He became the voice they heard when making decisions. And that's what you do. You make people feel like they're more themselves when they're around you. More confident, more intelligent, more important. You reflect back a version of them that they prefer, and now they need you to keep it alive. Every time they're away from you, they shrink, so they come back. Not because they love you, but because they love who they are when they're with you. This is the emotional dependency no one talks about, where obsession isn't about romance, but identity survival. Now you assign them a role, not just someone I like. You tell them, I don't open up to many people. You're different. You say, most people don't get this side of me, but with you, I feel real. They now carry a title in your world, and the fear of losing that title drives everything they do. Now let's get surgical. Every human has a secret they're terrified to say aloud. When they give it to you, and you don't react, you become the vault. And when someone puts their shame inside you and feels safe, they tie their identity to your silence. You're not just trusted, you're needed. That fear, that maybe one day you won't be there, becomes obsession in its purest, sharpest form. You take it one step further. You begin to reframe their memories. You say things like, I still remember that look you gave me that night. It changed everything. When we were walking, I could tell you were fighting something inside. Even if it didn't happen exactly that way, now it did. Their brain rewires memories based on emotional suggestion. You've become part of their past. And when someone believes you've been a turning point in their timeline, they never let that go. But remember, obsession dies when the story ends. So you never finish the story. Talk about places you'll go, moments you'll share, futures you almost promise, but never guarantee. These are myths you co-author, suspended possibilities. And when life feels mundane again, they'll come running back to the only person who made it feel cinematic. You. And here's the final stroke. Fear. Not loud, screaming fear. Not panic. Something quieter. Something internal. A soft dread. A whisper. What if I lose them? What if I was close to something rare and blew it? You never threaten to leave. You imply it could happen, that the door could shut at any moment. Not because you're cold, but because they forgot what it took to be in your presence. Now they're not just trying to earn your love. They're trying not to lose their privilege. You are no longer someone they date. You are someone they guard. You give loyalty like rare wine. A sip here, a taste there, never the whole bottle. And they start to panic over the idea of never drinking again. Now they don't just want you, they need to protect their access to you. Everyone has an insecurity. You become the only relief from it. You make them feel strong, but only when you're near. You make them feel desirable, but only when your attention shines. Now your withdrawal doesn't just make them miss you, it makes them feel small. And no one wants to be small. So they chase the version of themselves they can only access around you. That's not love. That's psychological captivity. Elegant, invisible, irresistible. They will try to leave. They will try to replace you. They'll go on dates, take trips, start new habits. But every song will sound a little off. Every person will seem too simple. Every conversation, too safe. Because you weren't just a person. You were a doorway to a self they liked more. And now that door is closed. Machiavelli didn't tell people what to think. He whispered ideas and let people believe they discovered them. You don't command devotion, You make them think, being close to them makes me smarter, stronger, sharper. Now they associate emotional intelligence with obeying your rhythm. They think they're becoming themselves, but really they're becoming an echo of you. This is the psychology of control without resistance. This is the art of becoming unforgettable. You are no longer just you. You are what you represent, an idea, a standard, a myth. So stay distant, speak with care. Let silence weigh more than speech. You are no longer just in their life. You are above it. You influence from the shadows. And once you've become the ghost they chase, you never need to speak loudly again, because now they hear your silence louder than any voice.